Gaming, who are coming off of their victory against Team Liquid. By this point, everybody should know the process, but in case if you've been missing, please use the Zoom hand raise feature if you'd like to ask a question, and then we will call on you. Would anyone like to go first? Let's start with Brian Bencomo from Nerd Street Gamers.
This question is for Ye. I wanted to know, so I heard that Finesse said on broadcast that it made him angry to hear the crowd in favor of TL. So I wanted to know how you felt about it, and how do you feel about finally beating an EMEA team?
I mean, for me, I was just locked in. I wasn't really like paying attention to the crowd. I could hear them occasionally during like the tech pauses and stuff like that. For the most part, I was just in the game, and I wasn't really like paying attention to it. But I can see it from like FNS's standpoint, because usually we don't have like a lot of fans that root for us, and it's a little sad. So I'm hoping that changes as time goes on, and we can maybe make some new fans.
Thanks. Are there any other questions for Optic Gaming? Looks like we're going to Kobe from Upcomer.
Congrats on the win, guys. Question for chat. Do you think Ye is the best player in the world? And if not, or if he's up there in the conversation, how do you think that gets solidified in the future?
I definitely think he's the best because he gets a lot of first picks for us, and he listens to our game plan very well. So without like his like fragging ability and then just like listening, then we wouldn't be where we are now.
Thank you.
Let's go to Alec from VLR.
Hi guys. Question for FNS. In a moment like in that last map where you have a very big lead, but Team Liquid are slowly coming back in the map, what do you tell your team to make sure you can close it out?
I don't have to tell them much. We've been in that situation a lot, and we don't normally have problems closing games. We kind of knew we just had to get a few rounds together. I mean, we only had 2 rounds to win, so obviously we weren't underestimating what they were doing. But I'd made like a really big mistake, and so I was kind of down on myself. So I don't really say anything to anybody. I just played, and then everybody else was just playing, and then fortunately for me, I had a Spectre round where I spammed Scream through the smoke, and then I killed 2 more in sight, and that kind of think brought me back personally, mentally.
This next question is for Victor. The first 2 maps didn't see opening duels go in your favor, but Ascent saw a 4-0 ratio in first kills and first deaths. What kind of adjustments were made as the series progressed to see things calm down and help you win those openers?
Not too sure. I think it's a little easier on the last map because I play KO, and it's easier to control the flashes myself. So I know exactly when I want the flash and how I want it. So that might be a factor, but I'm not too sure. I think on the first maps, I just playing mostly to get traded. Not gonna lie.
And that one was from Brandon from Run It Back. We're going to go next to Sons of KS Latam from the chat. For those who want to answer, there's the possibility of playing loud once again. Would it be more comfortable for you to face them again, or do you prefer DRX?
It's never comfortable playing any of these teams. It would be nice to play either of them. But yeah, I think I'd want DRX just because of how many times we played loud. But yeah, that's mainly the reason. I don't think either team has like any... Like, I don't have anything bad to say about either of the teams, but it's definitely not comfortable playing either of them.
We'll go next to Rohan from esports.gg.
Hi, guys. Congrats on your win. I know FNS and Ye have already spoken about the crowd, but I want to hear from Marv and Victor. How much of an impact did the crowd today have on your performance?
Wouldn't say it affects me too much, but it's definitely great to see us getting into it because maybe we kind of like when the crowd is against us, so we have something to prove. And I think when we have something to prove, we definitely try harder. So definitely helped us in that aspect. But other than that, just kept to our game plan and just play the game.
Yeah, what he said, but there were some like towards the later end of the game, there were some optic cheers, so that made us happy a little.
We'll go to Brian from Nerd Street next.
This question is for Finesse. I saw Ye tweet out that Crashes was dealing with some food poisoning. So I just wanted to know how he's doing now, and kind of what are your thoughts on him gutting it out on stage and still performing well despite the circumstances?
He's a trooper. I mean, I had the exact same thing he had like 2 days ago, and it was rough. So I know exactly what he's playing with, but I didn't have to play a match doing it. So definitely a trooper. I respect him a lot for putting the performance that he put up. He was still calming really, really well. He was still destroying players and, you know, just controlling rounds just like he normally does. So it didn't even feel like he had that, you know, there was times where he would say something about it, but it was very, very rare. And we kind of knew the situation he was under. So we knew the rest of us had to step up.
Chet, this next one is for you. This was OPTIC's first time going against Scream and his Phoenix. If you're able to speak on it at all, but what kind of preparations and counters did you guys have in place, knowing that Phoenix was probably coming? And this is from Brandon at Run It Back.
During our boot camp, we scrimmed Liquid a lot, so we had a pretty good idea of his Phoenix, and they had a pretty good idea of our play style as well. So not too many things caught us off guard, besides maybe some fast-paced strats from Cat, like on Ascent. But overall, we kind of knew where to expect his flashes and like where his walls were going to be. So it was just okay. It was like we just expected most of the things that he did.
This is from Wanzi at oneesports. For anyone who wants to answer, congrats on beating an EMEA team. Would you say your earlier boot camp in Poland played a decisive role in the victory?
I think our boot camp helped us figure out Pearl mainly in the boot camp. I wouldn't say like it helped us exactly with EMEA teams, but maybe a little bit. Just mainly helped with our own map pool, if anything.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the room? Awesome. OPTIC, congratulations on your victory. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you.